So first what you want to do is you want to draw a circle onto one end of your foam, and it works better if your foam is in a rectangular shape. And then what you want to do is you just want to cut around the circle with your scissors until you make a cylinder shape. So you just want to keep making cuts around it like this, and also make straight cuts upwards like so. So I'm just pretending to show you here. And then what you want to do is you want to make slightly angled cuts around the cup like so. So that way the cup has a slight angle or slight curve going all the way around, if that makes sense. So make sure that it's not a complete cylinder, you want it to be slightly small at the bottom. And as you can see, I've already done the shape because this takes quite a while to do. And then you just want to make small snips of your scissors just all the way around it and just smooth it off as best as you can. And then you just want to smooth off the bottom as well and make sure that the bottom is in a circular shape as well. And then just gently snip around the circle with your scissors. Just so it's as smooth as possible. And then you also want to do that for the top part of the cup as well. So this isn't a very difficult shape to make, but it can take a while, so just basically just like take your time when smoothing off the shape. And also you can make it as big or as small as you want. And also make sure that the top part of the cup has a slight curve to it as well to make the lid. So you just want to make cuts like this, just all the way around it so it has a slight curve. And again, just smooth the top off with your scissors. So now on to the next step. So next what I did was I drew a line going all the way around the top part of the cup to make the lid. And then also drew a circle at the top of the cup as well, just using my pen. And you also saw the pen lines that I drew in the previous clip as well. And then what you want to do is you just want to cut off the pen lines with your scissors and then just smooth that off with your scissors. And I'm also looking at an image of the cup as reference. And I also cut some small indents around the top part of the cup as well, which are barely noticeable. You don't want to make them too obvious. So I just cut some small lines going all the way around the lid. So you don't want to make those too obvious. And then what I also did was I plucked out a hole at the top for the straw. So now the shape of the cup should be done. And then once you're happy with the shape of it, we can finally move on to the next step. So next what I did was I made the straw just by using a small strip of white felt, or you can use red felt or really whatever colour you want. And you just want to cut out a small rectangular strip And then you just want to add some glue to one side of the rectangle and then roll it up into a small tube like this. And I just used my all-purpose glue for this. Or you can make the straw out of foam if you want to, or you could also use a real straw. So it's up to you how you want to make the straw. But just make sure that it's securely glued on one side. And we're going to be gluing this on later. So now we are ready to start painting it. So next what I did was I painted the whole thing white. And then what I did was I just painted on the logo in the centre. And I just painted the logo out by hand, but you can use a stencil if you want to. And I just looked at an image as reference when painting it. And sorry I didn't film any of this, I just really wanted to concentrate because I was scared about messing up. So I just used my dark blue puffy paint and also my red, white and yellow puffy paint for this. And then I just fixed up some of the logo just using a thin paintbrush and also a dotting tool. And then for the back I just wrote out the words Burger King just using my red puffy paint. And again I just did this by hand, but you can of course use a stencil if you want to, if you are struggling with this bit. And again, I just use this image here for reference. And then I just fixed up some of the words again, just using a thin paintbrush. And again, this wasn't easy, so I didn't end up filming this, but I think it turned out pretty good in the end. So now you just want to let this completely dry and then we can move on to the next step. So once everything is completely dry, lastly what you want to do is you just want to glue the straw in the top part of the squishy. And I just used my all-purpose glue for this. And then once you've done that, your squishy is finished. And I'm really pleased with how this turned out. And it is also really soft and squishy as well. And I think the writing and the logo turned out pretty good, considering that I didn't use a stencil for these. But like I said before, you can use a stencil to paint on the logo and the words on the back if you're struggling. And also I know like this probably doesn't look completely accurate to the real cup because I did end up missing out a few of the other details just because I didn't feel like painting on all the details, and also the size is probably not completely accurate either, but still I'm really happy with it. I still think it's close enough. Yeah, I'm especially happy with how the logo turned out. And I'm just going to pretend that this is either a milkshake or Coke because I just couldn't decide what drink it should be. So yeah, I'm just going to pretend that it's either a milkshake or Coke because I like both of those drinks. However, I think with the Whopper meal, I think you get a free Coke. I could be wrong, but anyways. So yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and also I really hope you enjoyed this series. It was a lot of fun to do, and I'm really happy with how everything turned out because I worked really hard on all of these, and I'm just really happy with how they all look together. And also, I was originally thinking of adding more to this. For example, I was thinking of making a sauce squishy to go along with it. But when I was looking at images of the Whopper meal, I noticed that there weren't any sauces. So I decided to just leave it out in the end. But if I ever do change my mind and I want to add more to this set, then I can always come back to this series and just add more to it if I want to. But since the person who requested this requested that I make a Whopper meal, I decided to do that. And I really hope you like it. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.